Another wild 24 hours in Lakerland. Just when fans thought the dust was starting to settle, a bombshell report has shaken the trade landscape once again. The Los Angeles Lakers, already making headlines with the surprise acquisition of Marcus Smart and the waiving of Shake Milton and Jordan Goodwin, are not done. In fact, the next move might be their boldest yet. And this time, it involves a name that's already become synonymous with defensive excellence and championship DNA, Jrue Holiday. If you're a Lakers fan, buckle up. This is more than a rumor, it's a calculated pursuit. And if Rob Pelinka has his way, the purple and gold might just walk into the 2025 season with one of the most intimidating backcourts the league has seen in years. Before we break it all down, do us a favor, smash that like button, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell so you never miss a moment of Lakers drama, analysis, and real-time updates. This isn't just another trade rumor, this could reshape the identity of the franchise. Now let's dive in, because the next few minutes might completely change how you view this team's ceiling. At first glance, it may have seemed like the Lakers' recent moves were just about clearing cap space and rotating the roster. Waiving Shake Milton and Jordan Goodwin was notable but not headline-shattering. Bringing in Marcus Smart, though, added a layer of grit and leadership that this team has desperately lacked. And while that alone would be enough to send shockwaves through the Western Conference, it was only the beginning. Because just as the fanbase was digesting the first wave of moves, the second one surfaced, and it's louder, bolder, and far more complex. Jrue Holiday, a player once off-limits in previous trade talks, is now firmly on the Lakers' radar. Multiple sources confirm it. Los Angeles is not only monitoring the situation, but may be preparing a serious push. Why does this matter? Because Jrue Holiday isn't just another role player. He's a six-time All-Defensive Team selection, an NBA champion, and one of the most respected locker room leaders in the league. He shoots a respectable 37% from deep, facilitates with poise, and locks down elite guards every single night. Pair him with Marcus Smart, and suddenly you have a defensive backcourt from hell, a nightmare for any Western Conference team dreaming of spacing the floor or playing small ball. And with LeBron James still chasing greatness at 40, the time to load up on two-way veterans is now. Not later. Not next off-season. Now. Still, there are hurdles. Big ones. Jrue's contract is not small change. He's owed $32.4 million next season, and he's got a player option that extends into his age 38 season. That kind of financial commitment makes any team pause, especially one trying to build for both the present and the future. But here's where the Lakers have an edge: flexibility. They haven't burned through their assets. Dalton Knecht is still in purple and gold. So are Maxi Kleber, Gabe Vincent, and Jared Vanderbilt. Combine those names with their remaining first-round picks, including a valuable one in 2031, and the Lakers have the ammunition to make something big happen. One proposed scenario: sending Vanderbilt, Kleber, Vincent, and a 2031 pick to Portland in exchange for Jrue Holiday and Chris Murray. There's another version floating around that swaps the pick for Knecht, a rookie with high upside and a team-friendly deal. That would sting, but if it brings back a player who can immediately elevate the team's title odds, it may be a necessary sacrifice. The salary matching issue got a little more complicated when the Lakers waived Shake Milton, but even then, Rob Pelinka has enough room to maneuver. Additional expiring contracts could fill the $3 million gap, and the front office has shown they're willing to get creative when the stakes are high. So the question becomes, what does Portland want? After trading away Anthony Simons and taking on Holiday, there's reason to believe they don't see Jrue as part of their long-term core. A player like Knecht, controllable and promising, might hold more appeal than another expiring contract. And with Murray coming back as a young piece in return, Portland could walk away satisfied with a forward-facing retool, not a rebuild. And let's not ignore the real possibility that this is all part of something even bigger. There's buzz. A lot of it. About the Lakers possibly eyeing another move, one that involves Luka Doncic. Yes, it's speculative for now, but insiders haven't completely dismissed the idea. If something of that magnitude were to happen, and Jrue was already in the building, you'd be looking at a potential starting five of Luka, Jrue, Marcus Smart, LeBron James, and DeAndre Ayton. Think about that. Elite defense, positional versatility, veteran leadership, and offensive explosion all in one lineup. A unit that can switch, communicate, close out games, and control the tempo, just like championship teams are supposed to. But even without Luka, Jrue Holiday fits like a glove. There's an ongoing debate inside the organization about Austin Reaves. Should he start? Or should he lead the second unit? Bringing Jrue into the fold could help tip that scale. Imagine Reaves as the sixth man, spearheading the bench alongside key role players. He'd get more touches, more space, and less defensive pressure. It's a move that could unlock his potential while preserving the integrity of the starting five. Meanwhile, Marcus Smart and Jrue Holiday on the perimeter, hounding guards, switching on screens, battling through pin downs, that's a defensive luxury few teams can match. And then there's LeBron. Still elite, still chasing one more ring. He doesn't have time for experiments. He needs stability, chemistry, and teammates who already know what it takes. Jrue checks every one of those boxes. Rob Pelinka knows this. He's played the long game, refusing to overpay or rush. But now, with the trade market shifting, contracts expiring, and the Western Conference more open than it's been in years, the time for patience might be over. According to reports, the front office was unwilling to attach picks in earlier negotiations, but Jrue Holiday might be the exception. Because sometimes, one piece is all it takes. One player. One final veteran who can shift the energy, bring the locker room together, and close out games in crunch time. This is that moment. The Lakers are standing at the edge of something massive. The question is whether they'll leap or hesitate. Because for all the speculation, all the contract math, and all the roster chatter, this boils down to one simple idea. Championships require risk. And no risk, no banner. So here's where you come in. Would you pull the trigger on a trade for Jrue Holiday? Would you give up Dalton Knecht or a future pick if it meant watching Holiday and Smart lock down the Western Conference next season? Or do you believe the Lakers should hold their chips for something even bigger? Drop your take in the comments, we'll be reading every one of them. And as always, make sure you're subscribed, because the next time we go live with breaking Lakers news, you'll want to be first in line. Until then, keep believing, keep questioning, and keep pushing for that 18th banner. Because history doesn't wait. And neither should the Lakers. Here's a crucial insight for you. Diving into financial education can significantly elevate your quality of life. In the realm of finance, take the time to explore bonds and stocks, with a special emphasis on real estate investment trusts, REITs. These investments have the potential to generate passive income. Approach this journey with diligence and opt for reputable investment brokerages globally. By doing so, you'll be laying a solid foundation for a more secure and prosperous future.